Okay, so here's what I got. Doing this long grain cutting board, and I did a pretty good job of getting it glued up. Everything looks really sharp. It's this nice ombre effect, with the dark purple heart, the walnut, cherry, oak, ash on up through this maple. And on this one small spot, let me try and zoom in on this, it opened up a little bit, and you can see daylight through it. It is a problem. And this board, I can't just cut off this last strip. I need it to, let me see if I can show the daylight through there. There we go. I need the light color to reflect all this. And I've used this method to fix these, to fix tabletops before, other cutting boards like this. I'm going to use my vacuum to actually suck some glue down through there. It works pretty well. You need to have a good wood joint, where both pieces are really flat to each other. This isn't going to fix that. But like in this case, I took a clamp already and squeezed this, clamped it down there, and it squeezes right up. So my guess is I didn't get enough glue in there, and that's why this just popped loose whenever I took the clamps loose. So let me show you how I do this. Okay, I got it set up over here. Like I said, you need to have a really good wood seam on here. If there's any discrepancy there, it's not going to be a good joint anyway. And I checked that. I'm going to put my clamp on here. We'll see how that tightens up. Okay. It seals up really well. It's really tight. So that's kind of what I check for when I'm doing this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn on my vac. My vac is pretty quiet, but it is still louder than than something else. So just kind of bear with me, watch what I'm doing, and hopefully this trick will work for you. Okay, so I got my vacuum hose. We're gonna go straight underneath here. And it's actually strong enough where it's holding on. But you can see it's actually pulling the glue down through there. If you don't believe it. See where it's pulling it down through. It takes a little bit, and because it's such a thin area, the glue dries pretty quick. But try and get more towards the outside. That's where the gap is the widest, so that's where it's going to do the most good. My vacuum is adjustable for suction. I've got it turned up to the highest amount, so it should take care of it. I got the end kind of plugging up here. I put my thumb over there, and that helps to seal it up a little bit more, get a little bit more suction through there. Fill that in. There you can really see it. As soon as I wipe it over it, pulls it down through there. I want to get a lot of glue down in there, relatively, for how much it is. So it gets all the way across it. And it'd be really easy if you were just kind of packing it in like this to where it's only, the glue's only gonna be on the top. It's not, it needs that force actually pulling the glue through. Okay, and I'm actually looking and I have glue coming out the bottom now. So that's, we do one last little bit. Okay, got our glue in there. Let's see how much squeeze out we get. My fear is that it's such a small gap that the glue is going to dry really damn quickly. But, okay, got a good amount of squeeze out. We got some on the bottom. So we'll let this dry. We'll see what we got. All right, so we're going to pick this up a couple days later, and as you can see, this has been sanded, it's been finished. I've got my oil on it, I've got my wax on it. It looks beautiful, really pretty cutting board. And I'm gonna zoom in on the repair. You can't really tell where it was, and that's exactly what you want. You know, that's what affects a good repair, is you can't see that it was done. This doesn't work all the time. If you have a bad, a bad seam where it's not just a matter of, in this case, enough glue did not get down in there. The wood was good, glue was not. If the wood is not cut right, is not flat, it is not going to fill up this tightly. It's not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to hide that with that tight of a glue joint. You see how close we are. I got my thumb in there for scale. This doesn't work all the time. I've done this with good success on tabletops before, like a farmhouse table where the ends kind of just split apart just barely. You have to be careful about overall. You have to be careful that you aren't over clamping, because if you're clamping right here, that could pry something apart down there if your wood isn't right or whatever. So use this with caution. If it's a small gap, put some suction to it, pull that glue down through there and tighten it up, and I hope that'll help you out. It's when you do enough woodworking or kind of any craft or trade, it's not about how anybody can do it. It's about who can fix the mistakes without knowing it. That's who's going to be the best. So if you have any other questions, you can leave a comment below. You can find me on Instagram at Second Life Design. I answer pretty commonly on there. And thanks for tuning in.